Adults need strollers too.
With your seat.
Alright, men, fat TikTok keeps on getting worse. Last time I checked out these people, they were busy shaming people for losing weight. However, it seems like now they're on to bigger and better things, such as taking up entire rows on airplanes, celebrating their self-inflicted disability, and demanding free wheelchairs for fat people. In this first video, we got a plus-sized model getting into a confrontation with the guy sitting next to her on her flight.
Natalie Haig, who is a plus-size model, says she immediately realized there'd be a problem with the passenger sitting next to her.
Wonder why?
As soon as I walk on the plane, I was met with this person that was just disgusted by the fact that I existed next to him.
Now, already off the bat, I feel like this is a misrepresentation of the entire situation. Nobody's gonna get upset because you're merely existing next to them, but they will get upset when your extra mass is intruding on their personal space. Judging by the size of this woman and the average size of an airplane seat, it's safe to assume that some of her extra flaps were intruding on the guy's seat, also known as his personal space that he literally paid for, which I can vouch is super annoying because a few months ago, I went on vacation to Texas with some of my boys, and on the flight home, I got sat next to this super big woman who not only needed a seatbelt extender, but was also so big, she took up like a fourth of my seat, so I couldn't even use the armrest on my chair because it was being covered by her extra flaps.
Natalie says as they waited for takeoff, she noticed the guy was sending out a text to a friend. Natalie decided to fight back, snapping this photo and sharing it with her 100,000 followers on Instagram. His friend writes, "Hopefully she didn't eat any Mexican food," to which the passenger replied, "I think she ate a Mexican."
Now look, obviously not the nicest thing to say about somebody. That being said, why are you reading the text messages on someone else's phone? That's weird on its own, but it's even weirder to take your phone and start taking pictures of this guy's private conversation to make a big scene about it and clout chase on social media. Because now, instead of it being an isolated incident where only 2 people know about it, now millions of people online are aware of it and giving their own commentary on the situation. I don't understand how that makes the problem better by any measurable metric. You're making a mountain out of a molehill.
I couldn't help but notice that before we took off, you were sending really horrible text messages about me to somebody.
I wasn't.
I have photos. Yes, you were. I saw the whole thing.
I apologize. I was drinking and I apologize.
Now, okay, I don't think this guy is actually sorry. I think he's only sorry because he got caught, but I also don't really blame him. Like, if you're having a private conversation with somebody and the person next to you can't mind their own business and is actively trying to read it, I can't feel that bad. If you saw something you didn't want to see, maybe mind your own business.
I want plus size people to know that you're fine and you're worthy and you don't deserve to be made to feel terrible about yourself just because you exist.
Now, on the surface, it sounds like a great message. You're beautiful, queen. You deserve love and respect, until it becomes a complete antithesis to any self-improvement. Newsflash, if you are so massive that you take up more than 1 seat on an airplane, you should probably consider dieting and living a healthier lifestyle. By zero measurable metric, is there anything remotely beautiful or empowering about intruding on someone else's personal space that they paid for? Because fun fact, flying isn't cheap, especially because these fucking airlines will jack off with the prices. It'll go from $150 one day to $250 the next. Like, they will upcharge you for these seats, and you're telling me when you take up someone else's overpriced seat that they have no right to be mad, and even when you're inconveniencing them? Like, because of this type of messaging that you're beautiful at any size and there's no need to change, there's now a whole trend where instead of being ashamed or embarrassed, people are glorifying the fact they take up multiple seats on the airplane.
With your seat.
Now, ignoring the fact this woman looks like Chicken Brent from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, what in the hell has our society come to? Are we really gonna glorify being so massive you take up damn near the entire fucking aisle? The body positive movement shouldn't be that it's okay to be fat and this massive. It should be, hey, you need to work harder. You need to be more disciplined. You need to start treating your body, your temple, like a temple and stop treating your mouth like a dumpster. And I went into the comments, and what the fuck did I find? Everyone in there is sipping over her and are foaming at the mouth, falling in love with her. So, So perfect and beautiful. I wish you sat next to me. It would be a great flight. Love, baby. Hello, gorgeous. It's like a weird fetish these people have for the human embodiment of supersize me to be squishing them on their next plane flight, bro. Like, why would you ever comment this stuff on the video with your real face attached to it? Do you have any shame? Do you have any embarrassment? Do you not realize everybody, like the entire public, can see you simping over this? Honestly, it's discrimination that they can't build wider airplane aisles in 2023. Now hold on, before we start crying discrimination, I want to play in the Oppression Olympics real quick. Because I'm sexy as fuck, I stand at an almost 6'4" tall, 6'3.5" to be exact. And because of that, when I fly on an airplane, which is pretty frequent, unless I'm sitting in the front row where there are 0 seats ahead of me, my tall ass barely fits on the plane, especially when the overhead compartments are so full of luggage, I have to store my backpack underneath the seat ahead of me. I have no legroom and am being squished for hours on end during my flight, and I can't control my height. So if we're gonna be reforming air travel to be more inclusive, let's start with the real victims of it and not people who chose to be this fat. At what point is it a wake-up call? Like, at what point are you gonna stop blaming these billion-dollar corporations for their airplane designs and just start taking accountability and losing weight? Like, is it really that hard to eat at a caloric deficit? That's all it takes to lose weight. Most of these people, especially this woman, just have the worst self-discipline on the planet. Oh, it's the billion-dollar company's fault I can't fit on the plane. Ignore the fact I struggled to fit through the average fucking doorway. It's the airplane's fault. Really? Here's another video by her, which is just disgusting. At my favorite restaurant, they let me use the wheelchair elevator. Haha!
This is the greatest thing ever. I love this. It's everywhere. 750-pound capacity. You can't get in here, I think. Well, that was fun.
Now, I gotta say, I find the dilemma here especially ironic. In one video, you're celebrating the fact you're obese. Haha, look at me, I have to use a fucking wheelchair lift made for disabled people in their wheelchairs. The fat life is so great, la 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 la. But then in the video before that, oh, it's discrimination that I can't fit anywhere, man. I hate the fact that I'm fat. If it wasn't for these fucking airlines, I would be able to fit through these damn aisles. Like, do you either love it or do you hate it? I find your coping strategies really unique. Like, you can lie to yourself all you want and say you're living the life. God damn, I feel pregnant. But I don't think anybody is truly happy when they look at themselves in the mirror and realize, wow, I can no longer walk, move in public, or function like a normal human being because I love nacho cheese so much and I'm now pretty much disabled. The whole point of a disability is you're not supposed to want it. Eventually, you want to get out of the wheelchair and not have to use the wheelchair lifts, and unfortunately people aren't that lucky. You are an able-bodied person. You could lose this weight and function like a normal human being. Plenty of people would kill to be you, but here you are wasting this perfectly good body. Next.
I hate when people say that wheelchairs are only for people who need them.
They are. Duh.
Because when they say that, what they mean is wheelchair users are for people who are paralyzed. But not everyone who is a wheelchair user is paralyzed. I think we should do away with strollers because toddlers can stand. You know why we use strollers? Because we do need them. We need them. Some adults need strollers too. And that stroller is a wheelchair. What is your commitment to making disabled people and fat people suffer all the time? Because life sucks, okay?
Now, first of all, with this level of poutiness, you need a pacifier, not a wheelchair. Second of all, yes, not everybody who is in a wheelchair is paralyzed. Some people have bones that are so weak they can't walk for long periods of time. So yes, the wheelchairs are there for people who need them. People who can't control their disability and need them to move around. If you're fat and want to use a wheelchair, I have no problem with that as long as you pay for it or buy one yourself. You can't tell me that because you chose to be this way, you get to go to like the front of Walmart Walmart and take a mobility scooter, potentially sabotaging somebody who may need it because you ate yourself into this way. Also, the comparison to toddlers and babies in strollers was especially pathetic. First of all, if you're an adult and have to compare yourself to that of a baby, throw whatever argument you're about to make in the trash because that's where it belongs. The reason why toddlers and babies need strollers is because their muscles are so weak they can't walk on their own for that long without getting tired. The strollers are there so their fucking legs don't fall off from overworking themselves. You, however, are a full-grown woman and have every opportunity in the world to be walking freely. You just chose to eat yourself into a potential disability. This isn't a reality you should be accepting and content with.
And if it makes a difference between you going outside and not going outside, use the fucking wheelchair and go outside. If you actually cared about people's health, you would stop discrediting that.
You hear that, guys? That's the sound of a fat person telling you to start caring about health. How ironic. And it gets even crazier when fat positive TikTok starts shaming people for actually choosing to lose weight and live a healthier lifestyle. If you want to hear about that, click the video on screen right now because I promise you the situation gets that much dumber. Anyways, yeah, I'll see you there. Goodbye.